Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and for the last week, I've been driving the 2026 Lexus NX350h F Sport. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline-4 as well as a hybrid system, and down below is an eCVT. Now I am super excited to be making this video here today because I've spent the last couple days driving the NX, and I have to say it is one of my favorite Lexus products at the moment, and I'll explain to you why that is. I think it's a good size, I think the powertrain is great, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's dive into it here today. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter inline-4 and hybrid system under the hood. Well, that is essentially a previous generation RAV4. Now the RAV4 is all new for the 2026 model year. I have plenty of videos of that car on my channel as well. It makes about 240 horsepower. It has been fantastic. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's a good amount of power. I don't feel sluggish, I don't need a turbo, I don't need anything like that. 240 is great for a vehicle like this, and the miles per gallon has been pretty good too. Now, like I said, paired to it is an eCVT, and I like it a lot. Honestly, I think it fits this drivetrain very, very well. I don't love CVTs in some applications, but I think in this application it works really well, just because it is switching between electric and gas modes. It feels actually more natural to have the CVT because it plays well with everyone. It can make the electric motor happy, it can make the engine happy, so I like that. Last but not least, this particular NX350 is all-wheel drive. However, you can find them in front-wheel drive more towards the base. How does it feel to drive the NX350 F Sport? I like it a lot. I like the size of it. It's not hard to drive. I just did a U-turn in a parking lot, and it has such a tight turning radius. Really, really fantastic. If you live in an urban environment, this is going to be great for that. Where the RX might be getting a little bit big, and we'll talk about that with the exterior in a little bit. It rides nice. It's nice and quiet. Even on the highway, it's very quiet. And the F Sport does get, sport tuned suspension, which I don't think is super necessary, but it does handle okay. Visibility is okay out the front. Out the back, it's not great, but that's to be expected about any SUV, especially in this class. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital dashboard. Now, what I really like about this is that it actually changes with the drive mode, and if you put it into Sport Plus mode, it gets this really aggressive, horizontal tachometer. I love that. I think that's a very, very cool, fun little touch that they added here. But everything is laid out semi-clear. I hope they clean this up a little bit. The new RX has a lot cleaner of a digital dashboard, so I hope that dribbles down here to the NX. On the steering wheel, on the left, we do have our selectors and volume, as well as pages, and off to the right, we have more pages, as well as our cruise control. These are haptic buttons. You have to rely on the head-up display in order to tell you what you're looking at. I've ranted about them in other videos, so I'll spare you the time here today. They're not very easy to use, they're not very intuitive, and I think it'll confuse a lot of people that haven't had other Lexus products with this feature. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent. We have our odometer and trip button, as well as gauge dimmer switch, and down below that, we have the gas cap release and tailgate release. Moving on to the door, we have this really nice style piece. I like that a lot, as well as the 3 different levels of memory seats. We have our power mirrors, power locks, and of course, power windows. Moving into the center, we get our giant infotainment display. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it is clear, it's easy to use, and this is a shared system with every other Lexus currently on sale. So if you've gotten into an RX, an NX, UX, LX, TX, GX, it's all going to be the same system. Now, it does have a backup camera as well as a 360 camera. Absolutely adore this 360 camera. I think it's relatively high quality, or at least high enough quality for the job at hand. But we do have the climate controls ran through the screen. Now, I am starting to get used to these. The more and more Lexus products that I drive, I'm starting to get used to the screen climate controls. If you leave it on auto, you don't really have to touch it all that much, and it does work well. Now, is that Stockholm Syndrome? I'll let you decide that, but they're fine, and they haven't been laggy during my time with the car, so I like that part of it. Down below, we do have 2 buttons for our parking assist as well as camera view. We get 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch. And then we get our drive mode select. So we do have Sport, Sport Plus, Eco, Normal, and Custom. And off to the right, we have a USB-C, USB-A, and a wireless charger. However, you can slide it open for 2 more hidden USB-Cs and a 12-volt outlet. All of your charging needs will be met here in the Lexus NX350h Sport. Then we have the shifter off to the left, standard Lexus shifter, again found in most of their products here today, so no news there. And we get buttons for our traction control off, auto holding brake, EV mode, off-road mode, and power parking brake. Off to the right, we do have cup holders. We'll do a big freaking bottle test like the NXs of the past. It still fails. And then we get the center console with nothing in it. The seats are comfortable and they are red, which I am very happy to see. I always feel like Lexus has somewhat boring interiors, and all the red accenting in here really makes it not boring. So I like that. You know, it's this splash of color in an otherwise very spreadsheet feeling world. And I like that a lot. It's been comfortable, it's been smooth, it's been easy to get in and out of, and I've enjoyed every bit of that. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the Lexus NX350h Sport. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but once we close the door, it's not the most spacious SUV I've ever been in. My knees are coming close and touching the seat in front of me, so that is a little bit of an issue. We do have 2 climate control vents down here. We have our heated seats down here. Love to see that. We also get a 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-Cs, so plenty of charging options here in the 3rd row as well. We do get a center console with 2 cup holders, and we get to enjoy the nice roof up above us. I'm 5'11" and not a small guy. I fit back here okay. Could I ride back here for an hour? Yeah, I could probably tough it up and make it work. It's not the most spacious. The RX is going to be a little bit more spacious, but if memory serves, it's still not like crazy roomy. You're really going to find that when you go up to like the TX. So this has a back seat. It's very usable. We could fit 5'11", not small men back here, but just not my favorite. If you depend on your back seat every single day, you might want to look at something a little bit bigger. But if you're just going to use it occasionally, or you have younger kids, this is going to be fine for that. So that's my opinion. Let's hop around back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the NX350h, we do have a button right up here above the license plate. And then once we are back here, again, nothing crazy. I would say this is a pretty sizable trunk for, again, the classification of SUV. Is this going to be able to fit a queen size mattress on your way across the country? Not quite, but I do think that this is a healthy amount of space. We do have some buttons over here to lower the 2nd row of seats. There you go. Look at that. Nice and power operated. Now it did hit the seat in front of it, so you will have to adjust that, but there you go. It's very, very cool to see. And we can pull this up. We do get some storage down below as well. So very, very nice to see. That is the rear cargo space found in the Lexus NX350h Sport. We can lock it and close it, or just close it up here. Because the vehicle is running, we'll just close it for today. Now we got to talk about the looks, and you can see the Lexus design language really shining through here. It's hard to tell if it's an NX, RX, TX, things like that. However, I will say this color is absolutely delectable. This color will make you stand up at Thanksgiving dinner and start applauding. That is how good it is. It looks a lot like Soul Red Metallic from Mazda. The camera that I'm using does not do this color justice. It's a very deep color. It's a very interesting color, and I've enjoyed looking at it every single day this week. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Lexus NX350h Sport for the last week? Well, as I mentioned, I enjoyed it. I like driving it, and I think this is my favorite unibody Lexus SUV on sale today. I know that's a mouthful, and I know that's a lot of qualifiers. But of the unibody Lexus products, we have the TX up at the top. Then it goes down to the RX. That's the 2-row, but biggest 2-row you could get. Then there's this, the NX, and at the very bottom, we have the UX. The UX is too small. you can cut that one off. And the TX is its own thing because it is a 3-row. That's for bigger families, people that need that extra space. You're not really cross-shopping. Then it comes down to the NX and RX. Why would I pick the NX over the RX? Well, the simple answer is price. The NX is a lot more affordable than the RX. You don't lose that much space, cargo-wise. It's not like there's any crazy handling that you lose. It doesn't look worse. You don't lose a lot for that smaller price tag. And so just budgetary, this is 99% the same experience as an RX. But again, for more affordable. And this feels size-wise like the older RXs, not the brand new RX, but the RX that came out in the early 2000s and late 90s. This feels more that size. And so if you grew up around those and you're now making good money, you want to treat yourself, you want to get a Lexus product, and you're looking at that new RX, you're probably going to be a little bit more comfortable in this one because this is actually closer to what you know, rather than the new RX is pretty big. And so those are my reasoning, or that is my reasoning, why I would probably pick this over the RX to daily drive or to purchase for myself. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Lexus for letting me borrow the NX for the last week. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle. And of course, the Midwest Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.